Alright, so there was some updates to Theora a few days ago. I just thought I'd make a quick theory update video on the changes. Those changes being this half wall being removed and being replaced with a railing, this new side hall being added, which is probably the largest change, and then this kind of B ladder and balcony system being backed up. And I'll go ahead and start with the A changes. And I'll start with what I think will be a very solid A set play. In the past, I showed off these smokes. I still think the smokes on the older versions were solid, but with the changes being made to A side, I think they are better in several ways. And one of them I'll show with this first lineup here is a smoke that lands right here. So in the past, it didn't need to block off this railing because it was a half wall. It was mainly serving the purpose of blocking off this quad player. But now that there's no half wall here, this smoke blocking off any vision from a player holding from the ramp is super, super solid. Because as you can see, without a smoke, you get quite deep vision into this side hall on not only this main angle, but like if you have coverage, you know, maybe from door side, or you know that no one's lurking with maybe like your own kind of lurk smoke, there's a lot of off angles you can play on this ramp, and just having a smoke landing right here does an absolutely, you know, great job of covering your players exiting, but specifically that headshot angle. And then the other main angle that I feel is super, super strong to hold these exiting Bell's Tower, whatever you want to call this new side hall, is window. Window can see quite deep into this hallway, and there are a lot of angles you have to clear when you're exiting on this first timing. Maybe, you know, 2 different elevations here. You come out. There's this, you know, perspective sight players, perspective window player, and you know it can be kind of awkward clearing all that. So the other smoke, other than just smoking window itself, that will help with the set play, and you can pair with the other smoke, is like in the first video I had, you pair it up with this lining up on this dark stain here, and what it will do is it will land in between the box and the half wall. And what this smoke will do for these bell tower players is it will smoke off Windows view of their exit. So you have this wall of smoke effectively that lets you exit the side hall without ever having to worry about the new headshots angles or the new off angles provided by the railing or any window player that's holding your exit. In the past, when I was playtesting this map with these changes, I would just smoke window. But if you're doing a full A set play, let's say you send 3 down, you have this 4th player here, or maybe you even send 4 down and have this player, after he throws these set smokes, you know, you have the wall of smokes up, you save this player's molly, okay, I'm clear, you know, maybe just line up the top of this electrical pole, and you molly that off. So what you have is a kind of still 4 players down into the new tunnel system, but also a smoke here that blocks off all of their lurk, and also a molly here. And what I'll say for a final point about these smokes is if you do have this, it may not land exactly how I line it up, but for time's sake, if you have this smoke, what it also provides is a lurk smoke for this tunnels player that eliminates the amount of angles they have to come out worrying about to really just these off angles and then the window player. So that allows them to feel much safer in kind of lurking out. Okay, I'm clear here. If you're playing from up here, by the way, your shadow says here. So if you come out, you clear a window, you look, there's no shadow here, then you can come out clear knowing that someone's either here or they're not watching for you. And then with this smoke, you can kind of lurk around here. And I'll just display what this shadow looks like really fast. So if you're playing up here, they can see your shadow. So, but if you're playing over here, they won't see it. So if you ever want to play this kind of like top hut, new kind of off angle, you want to be on this side. If you're on this side, they'll see you. As far as A site goes, that's really it. Just wanted to show off that set play has a lot more utility. And then one thing I want to show for the tunnels here is for anyone who's kind of new to the map, you can hop up on top of this barrel. And this provides you kind of an off angle that maybe they're not holding or expecting. For anyone who's coming out here, I still believe the CT's timing on peeking this will be faster. But you know, if you're a CT holding, you're holding from here, and then if someone jumps up here, you gotta flick up and try to hit this shot, and you're gonna already be crouched and holding the angle. So maybe you can win that fight, or maybe you just use it for information. And the same thing can kind of be true about getting into this corner and trying to maybe jump spot around, you know, see people that are around there. Obviously, you're making a lot of noise when you're doing that. And if your timing was good enough, that CT should not have been able to cross over that fast. It's probably close. But yeah, I mean, there's also a lot of just weird kind of stuff you can do with this barrel to try to spot out people. I mean, you can literally see the staircase there. Maybe I should just spawn in some player models around this area. and a couple around here, and gonna help this barrel again. So yeah, I mean, you can see, I mean, that's just kind of a free kill, and then get around the barrel a bit. You can see some legs. So I don't know if this is, a good or a bad thing for the map. I think dying as a defender in this situation would be quite irritating. But I guess that's really all I have to say about that. And then the last piece of information that I'll add really doesn't have anything to do with this theory, but in one of my previous videos I had mentioned that I was like trying to find a molly that would like bounce off the windmill and land here to block off tees, or to at least provide you some insurance that you have a molly down here if you wanted to do a push. And in the past I could really only find it by a miracle's chance, and since then I found I don't know if this is a glitch molly or just how the mollies work in CS, but if you get up against this light, and maybe it won't hit the first time, there's this blue part, door frame. If you get like basically where the blue meets this corner, and you just jump through a molly, it will land on the balcony of this thing, not spread anywhere up top, and will just pop and spread down to the bottom. So I don't know if this is like a modeling issue or just how the game functions. It's like treating this as the landing spot, but there's nowhere for it to spread, so it just defaults down to below. This is the best lineup I found that is just basically like the old molly that I was throwing through this window. I mean, it's effectively spreading in the exact same way, just as deep. The difference, obviously, is that this molly, in my testing, I believe this is landing at the earliest at something like a 13 to 14 to 15 seconds. And the T's timing, if they full hold W knife out across middle, no respect for CTs at all. Fastest timing is more so around like 10 seconds right here, 11 seconds right here. So this molly does not beat the fast timings, but in realistic gameplay, there is so much, time that the CTs can get to window, even just maybe throw like a molly through the windows that stalls or come out and fight. It really requires the T's to have smoked this part of mid to fully disrespect any CT's potential. So, I mean, if you have this smoked, your third or fourth timing with this play is probably still getting teched a bit or is throwing a smoke on the ground. I say all of this theory to maybe, to fully realize that this might just be a bug and needs to be patched. But this molly right here, I would fully expect to be a very solid part of any B aggression, if it's not a bug. So, just thought I'd point that out. All right, so one last thing to add on at the end here is something for approaching a site from a more split-centric perspective. Getting U-Haul as, a T-side player without taking A can be quite useful for flanking maybe someone who's not ready for you to be here as fast as you are. It's useful for taking a fight for anyone who's kind of playing around the bells area and peeking you like this. But past that, you're kind of just approaching the A site in the same way a Doors player would without having to go through the choke point. So it's still important, in my opinion, to have utility from this spot. And in one of the videos I had prior, I'd shown off this mid-split smoke. You kind of just get where this fence meets the wall, aim at the left side of the stain area, and it will come down and it will smoke window off for you. I've added on to this, if you get on top of the yellow dumpster, get to the corner, and you do a running right and left click jump throw binds, that general area, it's not all that sensitive. It will smoke off CT doors, and if you aim where the stain meets the other stain, kind of in this corner, I don't think this one's all that sensitive either, except for maybe the height, and this general area here. Do a running left click jump throw bind. It will give you a back quad molly. So fully utilizing your kind of unique perspective from U-Haul. You can combine this molly. Probably want to throw this smoke first, and then also combine it with this smoke right here. And you can come out, have a nice little execute onto the bomb site. And, maybe if you're feeling frisky or you have a flash, you can throw a flash over from this spot here to get everyone out that may be lurking in tunnels with you.